inspiration behind this was the love and benevolence of God the Supreme Being. In 1936, in Sindh, Pakistan, God the Supreme gave divine inspirations to Dada Lekhraj, and the seed of the Om Mandali group was planted. Dada had always had deep faith in God, and due to his intense desire to experience God, the Supreme himself granted divine visions to Dada. He was given the name Prajapita Brahma and was made responsible for the establishment of the new era. And people started joining the Om Mandali. Recognizing the true potential of women, Brahma Baba entrusted the leadership of the organization to them. Following the India and Pakistan partition, in 1950, Om Mandali relocated to Mount Abu, Rajasthan. And thereafter, members stepped forward to serve society both within India and overseas. This organization became known.
Om Shanti. Good evening. Welcome to our place for this follow-up HR Summit meet. I think some of you, I remember the faces who were there in our October Summit at Chancery. So today, why we are meeting here is basically to take it up some of the follow-up things, as well as to go a little more detail into what way we can take it forward, those things, right? Because in the last summit, we received some feedbacks and some suggestions from all of you, saying that how we can take it forward, these things. And one of the things they said is we should have one of the dinner meet somewhere in the city. Then we thought it is better to have a dinner meet in our own place. This is having a spiritual ambience, as well as you are going to get a divine food today, actually. So we thought we'll invite you everybody here and have our meet. That's one of the things. And the second thing is, last time, whatever we said, like how to go further with the interactions, which we are going to discuss it more. So this summit, basically, we are going to cover about how that kind of theme what we taken last time, what way we can further enhance it. And we have a very good resource who has come from Kuwait, specifically for this purpose, Sister Aruna. So she's going to talk about that after this. So before starting anything, we try to go with first a meditation. So I invite Sister Chai to come and do a silent meditation for all of us.
We will relax for a few minutes. I request you to please be seated straight. As you relax your body, observe the functioning of your body. How beautifully it functions. How beautiful it is to recognize the function of each organ, each cell. As I recognize the functioning and beauty of this body, I feel there is a life energy within me, controlling the functioning. I slowly take my consciousness to the middle of the forehead, where the life energy resides, where where I can say to myself, I am peace, I am energy. As I create these thoughts, there is a flow of peaceful vibrations within me, like a clean river flowing. I absorb the vibrations deep within me. As I sink into this peace, I find there is a treasure of peace within me, pool of peace within me. As I touch this pool, again I exhibit, remind myself that I am peace. I slowly start to restructure myself, saying, I am not this body, but I am a peaceful soul. As I start to structure, I go along the thoughts of peace. I have a deep feeling of peace. And I find peace around me. I connect to this restructuring of my wellness, sticking to my innate qualities, feeling it and spreading the vibrations of peace. Time and again, let us come back to this subtle structuring of my wellness within me. Nourish this wellness. I am also the energy. As I start to structure myself with peaceful vibrations, I also feel this ancient power within me, subtle power. And slowly, this subtle restructuring pulls me, takes me into a different personality. I remind myself that I am this. I am peace. I am just Om Shanti. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Sister Chaya. So today I just want to set the context for which we are going to discuss it. So last time, if you see what is the thing came out is to create or to promote wellness in the organizations or to promote wellness structures to across the employees. Some of the things came out is how to reward the people, not based on the performance, but even the learners should be rewarded actually. It is not only the performers should be rewarded, even the learners should be rewarded actually. And also some of the things, what they say is how to even inculcate values into the system actually. So to bring a wellness into the structure, values are the core strength, right? How to inculcate these values into the system so that the structure can be built up with better foundations actually. So how to make it and what kind of roadmap one has to make it even to bring those wellness into the organization is what we are going to see something more and in detail actually today. And of course, you are free to put your queries, whatever is there. And after this, we'll come back to you and talk about some of our plans, how we are going to take it forward from here to the respective organizations, in which way it can be taken forward. And we are also happy to receive your suggestions, what you feel that it is better to go for it, how we can implement it further actually, right? So without taking much time, I would like to invite Sister Aruna, who has come for this program, especially for this program from Kuwait. Sister Aruna is having more than 3 decades of experience, and she's a practitioner as well as author for about more than 7 books, what she has written. And if you want to access these things, you can go to her blog. It's Time to Meditate blog. You will find all the details in the text. I hope most of you would have got her profile and seen it out actually. So let me hand over to Sister Aruna. Thank you.
Sam Shanti. So let me begin with a story to maybe set the tone of why we're here, what are we here to do. Okay, so the story is, and it's real life story actually. So there was a social experiment done in Washington, D.C., whereby there was a musician, a violinist, who was to play in the metro station during certain hours, like from 9 to 11 or something, like peak time. And the experiment was to see how many people noticed him and appreciated him, okay? So, of course, in the first half hour, nobody. So they would just be, you know, rushing, going from the outside to their trains. And then an old man stopped. Then a child was, you know, tugging at his mother and said, "Mom, can we stop?" So they stopped. So not many people. I don't remember all the details, but not many people stopped. And also he made like $30, $40 in his hat, you know, through busking. And can you believe the musician was like the world famous Joshua Bell, and he was playing with a violin worth $3.5 million, okay? And he was playing one of the most intricate pieces that people pay a lot of money to listen to. And not only that, but people had been to his concerts the night before, sold out concerts, $100 a seat. Some maybe more if they're close. And so the experiment was that how much are we missing? How much are we noticing and how much are we missing? And just because, you know, that is the setup. The setup is I have to go from, you know, home to work. I'm busy. I have to do this. I have to do that. And I can't stop to enjoy a moment of, you know, pure classical music or a moment for myself. So I'm starting with this because the topic is about wellness, right? And promoting structures of wellness into our life, into our working life. And so how to do that? Because just little differences, just little tweaks in our life will make a difference to how we feel and then how we be. You see, we have to be, not just do. And when we are being, then that's when we are the happiest. Right? If I feel like I'm a robot, yeah, every day, back and forth, doing the same things at work, saying the same things to the same employees, it's very tiring. So where to find newness in that? Yes, so let's explore some of these ideas. So first of all, I'd like to just set the tone of where we're at the moment. It's not moving. I think battery nahi hai, kyunki pointer bhi nahi chalta. So basically we are so caught up in technology, and actually I'd like you to see on YouTube, you know, some of these videos that people have made about de-addicting themselves from technology. Yeah, so there's this one girl I was watching, and she said, okay, I wanted to try 1 week without my phone. And literally she was having like withdrawal symptoms. You know, like when you don't take sugar for a week, your hands, your arms, they feel different, your heart is palpitating, and you know, she said it was similar to that kind of addiction. De-addicting to the phone and technology was like de-addicting to other kinds of drugs. So how much of our time is being spent on things that really take us away from ourselves and what we need to do? And this is something we need to look at, actually. I'll skip this. Okay? So we live in today's fast-paced workplace demands, right? And this next picture also reminds me of the Natraj dance, doesn't it? Where the Shiva has so many arms. And this is what's being asked of us, actually, is to dance like this, to juggle the things in our life and to do many things, right? Multitask, always short of time, and we are working non-stop. Even when we take a break, it's like another activity. It's like I have to, you know, tick it off. I took a break. Instead of just, again, being and taking that pause. So I just want to mention something about multitasking, that before people used to say that it's good if you can multitask. But now they're saying it's not a good idea. Why? Because sometimes some activities are right brain, some activities are left brain. And if you're trying to do them at the same time, you're actually confusing yourself. So you don't end up doing the job properly. You know, so even at home, you know, you might be cutting something, which is being creative and being focused. But at the same time, you have to measure what's going in the recipe, which is a more left brain activity. Okay? And so you're bound to, unless you're really smart, you're bound to mess it up. Okay? So even at work, I mean, it's better to do one thing and do it properly than to juggle many things and try to be smart. Also, we're living in an era of abundant information, right? Information overload. So they say that the world is now flat. Flat means what? Flat means that everyone has access to everything. It's not just the rich, or it's not just the educated or the intelligent. Everybody, every specter of society, every age group, everyone has access to everything. But at the same time, what are we doing with that information? And how are we using it? Or is it just information? Because again, if you don't take that information and apply it, you get indigestion, right? Mental indigestion, spiritual indigestion. You know, sometimes when we hear too many spiritual lectures or gurus, we hear too much, we feel nauseous because we know it's right, but we're not able to implement it. This is indigestion, okay? And so we are being hijacked, right? The mind is constantly working and it's being hijacked. We're lacking focus. So that's why living in a world like this is so important, to do meditation and to keep taking time out, moments out, to concentrate, to focus. In fact, we have one example in Kuwait where this one girl, a daughter of a Kuwaiti, she was actually not doing well at school. She's a smart girl, but she was not doing well. And then her mom asked her, look, I'm doing meditation, why don't you join me? And of course, at first she was reluctant because she thought, this is not for me. Anyway, she came and she started doing meditation, and really her grade started to go up because now she could concentrate. Simple thing, just one thing she took from the Brahma Kumaris, and that was how to concentrate. And she's she went on, and then she's done BA now, and she's back from Australia. Yeah. So really, it's not, you know, sometimes people see us and they think like, you have to become extreme, you have to get into these white clothes, and you have to, you know, give up everything. It's not like that. Everybody can take what they want. We say that the knowledge here is like a buffet. You know, you serve yourself. You take what you want. And then just implement it. We're just happy that you take and implement what you want. You know, it's not like you have to become one of us or like us. Okay, the other thing that's controlling a lot of us, as I said earlier, is attention deficit. So imagine 46.9% of people get distracted from work, right? So imagine what this is doing to work productivity, employee engagement, stress levels, and mental and physical health. You know, every time like you hear a ping or a pong on your phone, immediately you feel you want to hear, right? What's going on. You feel you're missing out on something, so you have to. In fact, they say you should switch off all these, you know, messages. What do they call it? Notifications. You should turn off all these notifications if you're really serious. In fact, what I do is I put my phone in the other room. When I have to write something, I just really, because otherwise, you know, yes, I can handle it, but I lose my train of thought, and I don't want to lose my train of thought. So for that hour and a half, too, I just put my phone in another room. So it can be beeping and all that, receiving the info, but I want to get on with, you know, what I want to get on with. And this has become a crisis, right? So 62% say they've been distracted from doing work on their computers by checking emails, browsing the web, etc. Social media sucks so much of our energy, right? But we all know that there might be 800 friends. In fact, another experiment was done by this guy. He had over 800 followers on his Facebook account. So he sent an invitation and he said, I'm having a party, why don't you join me? And out of the 800, only 60 replied. 60 replied, yes, no, right? Most of them no, but at least they replied. And out of that, only one person, right, joined him. Really. So we claim to, you know, have so many friends, but how many of them are real friends? And there's this false notion, you know, this false notion that I'm surrounded by friends and connections and family. But imagine when the plug goes. Imagine when the electricity goes. Imagine when there's no internet. We will feel so isolated. We will feel so alone unless we have built a relationship with ourselves. If I haven't built that relationship with myself, I'm going to struggle. I'm going to, again, like that girl, you know, feel the de-addiction. And then that's going to be a tough time to deal with it, because at that time, everybody's going to be struggling. So it's better that I learn how to de-stress and de-addict myself while, you know, everything is normal, rather than in a crisis. And this is what's happening. This is a crisis in today's workplace. So what is the result of a wandering mind, right? The result of the wandering mind is low mood, poor self-image, mood swings, irritability, stress, even conflict, even jealousy, competition. This is the result of, if my mind is wandering, I'm always looking to see, you know, what does that one have that I don't have? What should I be doing that that one's doing? Never content. A contented mind is at peace. A restless mind is never at peace. So a mind that is constantly occupied, right, is always undergoing, we say, fight or flight response. So what is fight or flight? Fight or flight is when, okay, so imagine you know, long time ago, when we used to have to go pick our food, like berries and fruits, etc. So when we used to have to go pick our fruits and berries, then if we came across a lion or a tiger, right, either we are strong, like this brother, and we fight, or we flight, which means we run. We run from there, we fly away. Okay, so what's happening is I see the fear and the adrenaline is pumping and all these processes are happening, right? So I mean, if you're a doctor, you would know more than me. But some of the things I'm aware of is, for example, we go like this. It's not just surprise, but the eyes are making sure, is this what I'm seeing? Is that really a lion or a tiger? So the eyes dilate, okay? I start breathing faster so that I start having more oxygen. My heart starts beating faster so there's more blood going to my muscles, right? So I can fight or run or whatever. If I've been eating, the digestion stops. Okay, so food is not digested now. These are some of the main things, okay? Now, imagine in a modern day situation, something happens at work. Okay, so say your boss says something to you. Okay, adrenaline is pumping. Adrenaline's pumping and you can neither fight your boss, nor you can say, bye, I'm going, you know? So all this is still happening. The adrenaline is still, right? Making you breathe faster, pump the blood, but it's not being used. And then that's why we end up falling sick. Okay? So here I've got some examples, you see? So the heart, the bladder, the vision, urinary tract. I mean, every organ begins to get affected. And this is why we say that it's called the psychosomatic effect. Psychosomatic. Psycho, here, the mind, the head, and soma, the body. And so whatever you're thinking is having an effect on the body. And you can sense this sometimes, you know, when you have to go for an interview or really make a presentation that you're not comfortable with, right? So here you're not comfortable, you're not confident, and then you start getting butterflies. Or you start feeling the stress. So this is psychosomatic, you see? So every disease, every dis-ease in the mind creates a disease in the body. So if you're worried, you get ulcers. Skin rashes is due to tension and anxiety, heart attack, fear. Liver is always connected with anger. Depression, negative thinking. Yeah? And much more. These are just some examples. So there's a reverse psychology now, which is if there's something happening in the body, then find out what's the mental correlation and try to change that through meditation or yoga, hatha yoga, or other means, right? So people are also trying this now. So yes, if I have liver problems, maybe I need to look at my anger. Maybe I'm not overtly angry, but I'm passively angry. But I need to look at that and say, okay, let me calm down. Let me not take life so seriously. And people then have been able to reverse. But of course, if the damage is done, it's done, right? If the organ is spoiled, it's spoiled. So that's why really I say prevention is better than cure. Why in fact, what they say is 1/10 of your income goes to the doctor. Did you know that? 1/10. When you're earning now, 1/10 of it will go to your doctor. Because somewhere, as you're working, as you're getting stressed, you will somewhere pay the doctor or the masseuse or the therapist or somebody. So why not to keep ourselves in a state of wellness to begin with so that I don't have to do the cure? And really, if I can just add meditation, I'm of course biased to meditation, but if you can just keep adding some meditation to your day, morning, afternoon, evening, you really alleviate yourself from a lot of stress. You don't take life so seriously anymore. You're kind of happy-go-lucky. You manage yourself well. You know, you're not so serious. Actually, seriousness is a sign of ego. If I'm serious, it's because somewhere the ego is kicked in and everything's important and I'm important and everything has to be perfect. So let's not be so serious. Let's just lighten up and let's take life lightly. And that's why I'm saying here, if you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Mind over matter. Really, if you don't mind something, it doesn't matter. Right? So if I didn't offer you this chair, you don't want the chair, it doesn't matter, does it? But if you really want the chair, right? Somebody wants this chair, the high chair, the throne, whatever, the position, then it matters to you. But don't mind. Don't mind. Don't mind what somebody says. You know, move on, let go. And it doesn't matter. So this is another thing we learn here, is how to put that full stop. Not to go into expansion, you know, not to make a molehill into a mountain. Just reduce it, full stop, move on. We say Om Shanti, full stop, let go. Okay, so there's 4 levels of stress. Yeah? Physical, which is body. Emotional, feelings, emotions. Sometimes we are hurt by relationships and we become emotional. So mind is okay, the body is okay, but, you know, emotion. So that's why there's a difference between pain and suffering. Pain is physical and suffering is emotional. So sometimes they say, well, look at your dadis, you know, sometimes they're in hospital. Yeah, they might have physical pain, but they're not suffering. Yogis mostly may have physical pain, but mentally they are not suffering. In other words, they don't feel sorry for themselves. They're pretty strong, you know, pretty strong-minded. Thinking, the mental stress is maybe thinking too much, not able to discriminate, not able to decide what to do. And, you know, this is the sickness of the United States, right? I'm sure here now also too in these countries where you have such big stores, that every line in the supermarket has so many choices of the same product, right? Which toothpaste to choose, which washing powder to choose. It's very stressful actually. So even this, like even like when you're going out, if you can just plan ahead actually, and say I'm going out for this purpose only. And then you say, no, and I only need these items. Then you'll stop yourself from going, you know, into this sale sign and promotion sign. And because we always come back having bought more than we need. Because we got distracted or because we couldn't choose, you know. So really, that's another thing we learn here, is how to discriminate, how to decide. And then spiritual stress, right? Who am I? Identity, self-awareness. Who am I? That's a multi-billion-dollar question. Who am I? Are you just a male? Are you the father, the husband, the mother, the wife, the daughter? Or are you an HR leader? Like, is that your title? Is your job your identity? You know, who are you? So again here we learn that we are actually more than our physical body. We are actually more than what you see with these eyes. We are actually immortal beings. So no fire can burn me, no sword can cut me, no water can drown me. I am eternal. And in fact, this was one of the points that really gave me my spiritual birth. I was 14 years old and my mother had come from the center in the morning. I came home at lunchtime from school. And while she's making me lunch, she would give me some points. You know, I heard this at the center, I heard this at the center. So that day she said to me, my nickname was Anu. Anu is my nickname. So she said, Anu, look, everything you see around you, right, is going to be destroyed. The only thing that will not be destroyed is you, the soul. And I thought, wow. You know, I thought, Mom, you're becoming smart. You know, because she wasn't educated. And so I remember that week, I told my friend, you know, let's find something that will not be destroyed. So look around you, everything that's being created will one day be destroyed. But the one thing that will not be destroyed is the soul. And that gave me my spiritual awakening. And I said, you know what, I want to focus more on this because that's what matters most. And then that's what drew me to looking and finding out, you know, who am I, you know, and working more on my spiritual identity. So anyway, basically 4 levels of stress, right? And we are all experiencing them all the time. I mean, it's not that we're all perfect. So just to be mindful of this. So living in balance is my responsibility, which is ability to respond. So I'd like you to tell me what is E, what is R, what is O, and this here is the clue. What does E mean, what does R mean, and what does O mean? Okay, so response and outcome is right, but E, not emotion. Yeah? Ego, no. Energy, no. Experience, no, but good. Anyway, you get the idea, right? It's actually event. Because look, if you always do what you've always done, you always get what you always got. So this is what they're doing. They keep repeating. He keeps hitting and she keeps hitting. Always do what you've always done. You'll always get what you always got. Okay? So what are we saying? That the events in our life mostly stay the same, right? You can't change your wife, right? You can't change your job, even if you might not like it. Not so frequently anyway. Maybe you can't change your city. Okay, so mostly the events stay the same. And you want a different outcome, right? So you want a different outcome, event stays the same. So of course the response has to change. Yeah, is that clear? If I want a different outcome, then I need to change my response to the things I've been doing. That's why we say it's my responsibility. Don't wait for others to change your circumstances or to change the way you feel. Okay? So we are the creators of our own stress, as we are totally responsible for the responses we create. First, I have to accept that nobody's doing anything to me. Okay? What they're doing, they're responsible for. It's their karma. How I respond is my karma. That's all I can take responsibility for. And every response begins with our thoughts. Thoughts are the seeds of our deeds. So if I want, okay, this is the thing we don't accept about karma, right? That later in my life, okay, I want the orchard. I want the mangoes, I want the bananas, I want the whatever, apples. But I have to start planting it today. Okay? I can't wake up tomorrow and say, where are the apples? Where are the mangoes? Did I plant the seeds? Actually, there was a nice picture I received the other day. And it's God's shop. Okay? It's God's shop. And whatever you want, you can take from God's shop. So this man comes along and he says, God, I want happiness and success. So God says, okay, son, I only sell seeds, not flowers. Get it? No? You have to plant the seeds. If you want happiness and success, you take the seeds, you plant them, make the effort, and you will have happiness and success. Okay? So nothing is ever free, right? Nothing is delivered to you on a platter. We have to make the effort. And definitely, if we plant the seeds, then why not? Why we should not receive the fruits? So it's my responsibility. Okay, so let's just have a little icebreaker here. And I'd like you to discuss, just for a few minutes, 5 minutes, how to recognize stress at work what's the cause of stress, and what you might think is the remedy. So maybe just in your tables, you can have this discussion. Maybe these two tables can join. Yeah? So just get to know each other and just have a little conversation about stress. Maybe you don't have stress. Anybody has stress? No? Everybody has stress? Just checking. Okay, so just, have a little discussion. Recognize how to recognize stress at work. What might be the cause of stress? Look at your, working environment and what you might think could be the remedy. Okay, just a few minutes now. Okay, one more minute and finish. Okay. So, anybody'd like to share anything, what they came up with? Any results related to stress? Ideally, remedies. We all know there's a lot of stress. Any remedies? One second, just, yeah.
Planning is lacking. They have to organize themselves, and they have to give importance to spirituality also, which they have not come out with. Now the present generation, IT companies, those who are working, many of them are having job security is not there. Okay, they have to submit something, as I feel that something has to be completed, it has to be completed in time. If say you have to complete by today, by 8 p.m., and if you say tomorrow I will give, you're lost. Your work is not completed. So time and accuracy is very important for any software company, IT working people. That is very important. And you can make out like they are stressed, they are not happy, their mood is not good. Sometimes they will be nice, sometimes they will not be good.
So what's the remedy?
Remedy, planning is required, meditation is required, as we were discussing about that.
Okay, I'll pay you later.
Thank
for
you.
promoting meditation. Yeah, anybody else?
Good evening, everybody. Sister, as such, haven't come across a remedy, but there has to be a consistent effort, and reinforcing certain practices does help get rid of a good amount of stress.
So can you name one or two practices?
For example, it's very important to instill a belongingness among people. I get to handle a team, and driving teamwork is much more difficult than having an individual target. So instilling that belongingness is very important. So morning meetings is something that we don't skip. And basically, it's not to plan and communicate today's targets, but it's about to hear from them as to what are the hurdles and obstacles that they have, and do a bit of hand holding. That kind of gives them a reassurance that there is somebody to push them through.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. In fact, I was sharing yesterday. Lifestyle has to be changed. Yeah.
Self-inspiration and positive energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
These are the things.
Self-inspiration and positive energy. Yeah, so like I was saying yesterday, that, Brahma Kumaris is an organization in which you don't hire people and you don't fire people. Okay? And yet, look at it. It's amazing how it works. Because yesterday we were having this discussion whether soft power works or whether we have to have hard power or push power, But amazingly, it works. If you see the people who work as volunteers with the Brahma Kumaris, if you were to see them as staff, there's hundreds of thousands of employees. But somehow it works. Partly, I thought of this because, as you said, we also feel a sense of belonging. Just apnapan kehte hain. We take responsibility, and we trust. We trust in the organization, and we trust that they trust us, so we try to live up to that trust. That's very important. Like, because my seniors trusted in me, I'm trying to live up to that trust. So if you feel that you're giving your staff a sense of, look, I trust you, you can do it, you know, chances are they will live up to it, as you're saying, the hand holding. Yeah. Good. Okay, we can stop there, right, for now. So let me, so let me say that it's very important to use, right? Let's move into more the remedies now. So it's very important to do meditation or mindfulness at work, right? And many companies are actually taking this up in many parts of the world. And as you know, Google has this philosophy that, you know, give everybody a lot of freedom. They can work where they want, when they want, how they want, and somehow that will make them more creative and productive. So companies are trying lots of, we can say, right brain activity. In fact, meditation, I think, is also right brain because it's more creative. It's not just theory, it's not factual, it's not numbers. It's about exploration, it's about creativity. And when we're in this right brain activity, we can actually flourish. Okay, let me give you an example. Okay, so imagine that there's 1 meter, right? 1 meter wide pathway, right? In the park. Today we went to this, what is it? Lal Bagh? Yeah. So imagine there's a pathway, right? It's 1 meter wide and then there's grass on either side. So when you have this 1 meter pathway, you walk on it, you know, quite confidently, right? There's no fear, right? There's no chances that you're going to fall onto the grass or anything. Okay, same. If you now ask somebody to walk on a 1 meter glass bridge, right, which is like 100 meters high, it's the same path. You're not going to, when you're walking in the park, you're not going to tip over, right? But suddenly, when you're put on a bridge, right, the left brain kicks in. And the left brain says, what if? What if you fall? What if the glass breaks, you know? And you start getting analytical. That's the difference between left brain and right brain. So right brain, walking in the park, great, have fun, jump, you know, dance. But then when you're put in a crisis situation, the left brain kicks in and you become analytical and fearful and maybe confused and all these things. And then you feel you have to weigh things up. So fear kicks in, you see. Because of the fear, you have to analyze things. So then when you're in fear, you're frozen. There's no room for creativity because you're just trying to put out the fire. You see? Yes, the microphone here to this sister.
Sister, you were talking about fear. I agree. You know, fear, unless you analyze. Now we are coming in an analytical word, right? When you analyze, you see both the parts, right? And then only you plan. And when you plan ahead, after analyzing, you look at pros and cons. And cons, definitely, if you don't look into cons, we'll not be able to work into it. So you were saying fear. I would say the cons, what we analyze, sometimes, you know, if you're not able to, you know, control them, that creates stress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm not against that. I'm not against planning. I'm not against risk management. I'm not against analyzing for the sake of finding the best solution. Yeah, it's with what mindset are we doing it? If it is out of fear, if it's to try and come out of the hole, as opposed to trying to prepare the hole, you know, that's the difference.
Okay, I'll give you an example. Let's say you know the cons. You know it can happen. And you're not able to find the solution for it, right? It's what you say. We have built up like that. I will not say it is natural, but it is like we have been built up like that. Mind automatically goes there. That what if? We don't have solution for if, what if? So you don't know future, you can't predict future. That is the reason we do analysis. When we do analysis, our mind goes on cons. When we are not able to find the solution for the cons, it creates stress. So it's like related, I feel. It's like we have 36 teeth, right? One is missing, our tongue automatically goes there. It's not that we are intentionally doing it. Because that is missing, something on which we worked whole day, we went and removed. Now mind automatically goes there. And automatically things create stress. Because we have been built up from that from years. I am associated with this organization from quite some time. And I do appreciate the meditation bit. But still, it becomes very difficult to work on things. When you actually go in real world, right? You want to come back here. You want to do meditation because you get that bliss. You actually get that peace for that while. I do feel, I'm not denying that fact. But it's a cycle because morning you get up, you go to office, you come back, you again go back to office, and you have every day a new challenge at work.
Yeah.
When you look for a solution, and some of the things does not have a solution. And we do connect, as you're saying, I'm not saying I'm at that level of meditation. And it really becomes difficult, and we can't say there is no stress.
Yeah, okay. So the thing is, as you said, you learned these patterns, right? And they become automatic. So now we have to unlearn those patterns, and we have to learn new ones in their place. So the new ones kick in. And you're right, no matter how much planning you do, right, you will never get it right. Like, no matter how much you plan for your life. In fact, there was this one lady, she was actually one of the students in Seattle. And she was such a health fanatic that she would only buy organic things, and she said, no, I have to eat organic so I can have a long life. Then, can you believe she died by a car accident from Mount Abu to Ahmedabad? Well, yeah, that's one thing you attract. But no matter how much you plan for a good, healthy, wholesome life, but if your time is up, your time is up, So what I'm trying to say is one of the things I say to myself is, yes, I'll do the planning. Even in Arabic, they say that first tie your camel and then leave the rest to God. In other words, you do your bit and then you let go. And you wait, So this is my point. You do your best, you do your bit, and then you have to trust that the drama will work in your favor. Or you will have the strength to deal with it when it happens. Because we may all be dealing with different things and different stresses, but just trust that you will have the power to deal with it when it comes up. Or at that time, you will have the power to know what's the right decision to take.
I agree with you totally. Sometimes there is no plan, and we feel not planning itself was a strength, and it turns out to be good. So that way I agree with you, but stress, sometimes I feel it's not easy.
But see, stress will not go away. In fact, I always say that stress is there, even for the baby. Stress is there from day one, but it's how we manage it that doesn't feel like stress. There was a thing, there was another quote I received, that you should do your work in such a way, or you should enjoy your work in such a way that you never have to retire. You see? If you really love your work, like if you're a caring nurse and you love to care, you will always be a carer, because that's what you enjoy doing. So this is the thing. We should really love or make our work into our passion where we enjoy doing what we're doing, and then it's not a stress. So this is what we have to do, is turn it around actually in our mind. Yeah, not to make things heavy-hearted or make it difficult for ourselves. And we learn these techniques here, really. And this is what I'm going to come to now, right? How Raj Yoga offers us all these self-development techniques. So for example, how to keep a healthy heart, right? So healthy heart we say is not just this heart, but it's that emotional feeling part of ourselves. So values in the workplace, harmonious relationships, lower absenteeism. Okay, happy mind. Focus your mind on higher productivity, problem solving. I mean, these are all the results that we want. We want a happy spirit, right? So we boost their self-esteem. We want higher IQ. We want stress management. Okay, so how does Raj Yoga help to have a happy heart, happy mind, and happy spirit? I'm just going to come to that in a minute. So ideally what we want is being happy, calm, and clear, right? We want to work in an environment that is harmonious and conducive to the way we think and believe. This is what we're looking for. This is our ideal, working dream life. And so why should we not be able to create that? We can. Okay, it's not an illusion or it's not a dream. We can create a happy, I really enjoy what I do. And I enjoy working with the people I do. And I enjoy living with the people I do. But I've created that, I've created that, let's say, environment for myself. And if something's not working, we talk about it. Communication is very important. If something's, I'm not saying there's not issues. There are issues, but you have to talk about it and see, where you're not meeting eye to eye. And yes, you might agree to disagree. This is the other thing. You don't always have to agree and get on, but you just say, you know what, yeah, we have our differences. But that doesn't mean you don't love the person. You see, it doesn't mean you don't want to work with the person. Agree to disagree. So at the core of wellness, right, this is the point, you are important. When you look at mind, body, spirit, at the end of the day, you have to take care of you. So no matter how many hours you're working or how much you're trying to push company profits, but if your health is suffering, right, what is the point? They say you work so hard, you kill yourself as you climb the corporate ladder, and then later you spend that money to heal yourself. So what's the point? So really, this is about looking at you. And in Raj Yoga meditation, the focus is on I, but not in a selfish way. Not as in I, not like that. But if I can take care of me, then I can take care of others. Yeah, what do they tell you on the plane? First, put on your mask, and then help others. So this is the point, that if I can take care of myself, if I can make myself full through Raj Yoga meditation, then I'm able to help others. And so this is the wholeness structure, the wellness structure, which is wholeness, which is all these things have to be in place, you see. What is my life's purpose? That's very important. Actually, if you look in this room, everything has a purpose, right? Everything that's been created has a purpose, right? The bottle, the water, the tablecloth, the chairs, everything has a purpose. What is your purpose? Right? The chair says use me, the curtain says use me, the light says use me. How do I say use me? What am I here to give? What am I here to serve? You see? So this is very important. My spiritual identity is to be, to radiate, to share, but what? And this is about me, the spirit, my values, my virtues, my powers. This is my purpose, is to be. You see? So that's very important. Each one has to, this can be an actual seminar on its own. Bharti Bhai, finding your purpose. And I've done this as well. Like it can take a whole day. Finding your purpose through self-reflection. Okay, physical, your health, getting on with others, no conflict. Mental, having a strong mind, no depression. Emotional, again, strong heart. And your environment, creating the right environment. And then there's another seminar also, which is creating your reality. Why should we not be able to create the type of harmonious environment that we want? It's in our hands. If it's not in our hands, whose hands is it? You see? So if you want a certain thing, you put out that energy and you attract it towards yourself. So the thing is, you have to keep envisioning that you want a powerful team, you want a good, happy, harmonious working environment, whatever. Make it all positive. And focus on what you want. Don't focus on what you don't want. So don't say, I don't want conflict, I don't want anger, I don't want ego. Because when you say, I don't want, it's not the not. The mind is not registering the not. The mind is registering that word, so which is ego or anger or conflict. It visualizes the ego, it visualizes the anger. So don't focus on that. Focus more on the peace, the calm, the harmony, the cooperation, the collaboration. Focus more on that. So when all this is in place, then you can say that yes, all the elements are taken care of. So yeah, why corporate wellness? Okay, so these are some of the reasons. Conducive work environment, better resilience in dealing with a fast-paced, work. And then you're equipping people to manage conflict and stress. Happy employees, so they stay longer with the company, right? You help them to problem solve. And then they're loyal, employee engagement. In other words, you engage your employees. So you're working, many of you mentioned you're working in teams. Yeah, why should they stay with you? Why should they want to work with you? Why in your team? What do you offer that's different to what others are offering? Okay, so this is some ideas for your roadmap to wellness. So if remember those other points I mentioned, physical, mental. So if I'm working on myself, if I'm working spiritually on myself, this is the result. I'm more aware, more conscious, values focused, I have a purpose. Social, I do good to others. Environment, I'm saying here, it's actually a pun. As you sow, so shall you reap. Environment, because if you plant seeds, you get trees back. But also environment, my atmosphere within where I work. If you're planting good ideas, positivity, like we've been to a few companies, yesterday and today, and just injecting them, with like a 1-hour seminar of positivity or mindfulness or meditation, just gives them a boost, you see? So this is the thing, like you have to find ways of reminding people what's important. Emotion, EQ, right? You have high EQ happening. Mental, you have peace of mind. So you give your mind a mantra, you focus, you practice. And then physical, yes, exercise, right? I mean, all these are the results of these things. Okay, we'll skip that. So this was the important thing now I wanted to get to. So basically, through Raj, what does Raj Yoga have to offer, right, to the companies? So this is very important. These 8 powers of Raj Yoga. Withdraw, pack up, this is cooperate, accommodate, discern, no, there's one missing. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, there's one missing. There's 2 cooperate, see? Sorry, my assistant helped me with this. So there's one missing, tolerate. This is power to tolerate, okay? So power to pack up, power to tolerate, power to accommodate, power to discern, power to judge, power to face, power to cooperate, and power to withdraw. These are the 8 powers of Raj Yoga. And how these help in our life is, I mean, you're already using these powers. I'm sure you are, but you're not realizing that it's a power, So even to be able to tolerate something. Some of us have very low tolerance thresholds, Like there's a fan spinning, you don't like it. There's a ticking clock, you don't like it. That's very low threshold of tolerance. Others can tolerate a lot. Their boss is insulting them or employees are, backbiting them, and they can tolerate it and stay strong. So how to flex these muscles? The 8 powers is like flexing the muscles of the mind, you see? And that's why I'm saying we have to increase the powers within us. Power to pack up. What is power to pack up? Is pack away everything that's not needed. When you're going on a travel, right, you don't take your bathroom sink with you, right? No matter how many things you'd like to take with you, but there's a weight restriction, okay? Especially, right, domestic flights, 15 kilos, right, I think. Yeah, so you have to be really picky and choosy. What do you want to carry? In the same way, what do I want to carry in the suitcase of my soul? Do I want to carry the rubbish, the negativity, the revenge, the hatred? No. So you see all these powers, I won't go into each one, but when you take the meditation course, right, you go into the depth of how to attain these inner powers. And they're really very practical in our day-to-day life. The other thing is the 4 pillars of Raj Yoga meditation. So Raj Yoga meditation talks about knowledge, right? Gyan, Yog, Dharana, and Seva. So Seva is what we also call in the corporate world as corporate social responsibility, right? The company's earning something, it's its duty to give something back to the community. In the same way, it's my duty to also give something back. And let me ask you, in what is there more joy? Is there joy in taking or in giving? Giving, yeah. You see? Always more joy in giving, because then you're happy and you're happy to see the other one happy, you know, because they've got something. So seva is very important. Okay, dharana. Dharana is about working on ourselves. So back to the corporate world, it's about learning skills, as we said, the 8 powers of adapting, cooperating, you know, learning to get on with others, harmonizing. And what do we say? That our dharma should be our dharana. So our dharma is not just I'm a Muslim or a Hindu. No, my dharma is that I'm a peaceful being. So my dharana should be peaceful. I should handle things calmly. I should handle things peacefully. Right? So this is dharana. And then yog. Yog means meditation. Yog actually means union, connection, communion. So even when, you know, people were meant to do hatha yoga, right? When you do hatha yoga, it was meant to be done with Raj Yoga. But now people are like watching, like, what's that one wearing? And, you know, what do they look like? And, you know, you're not meant to focus on others when you do hatha yoga. You're meant to be in yoga, so mentally and physically. And then you can actually hold the postures longer. But now there's only one, either hatha yoga or Raj Yoga. So anyway, yoga for us is meditation. It's to connect with the self, to connect with the higher source, and to create that link and to see how long I can keep that link. Dhyan, we say dhyan, right? How long can I focus on one thing, right? I ask you to focus on this bottle. So you might look at it, but are you really focusing on it? You see? So focusing is with the mind. It's not just the eyes. Dhyan, how long can I focus on one thing? Positivity, how long can I stay positive before I become negative? How long can I stay loving before I start measuring my love? You see, this is yoga, okay? And then knowledge. Knowledge is self-awareness. So knowledge, we have so much knowledge in the world now. But again, it's the knowledge that clicks with you. It's the knowledge that sits with you that you will apply to yourself. Even now, this evening, I'm sure there's many things you will forget that I said. But anything that stayed with you, right? Anything that you think, that I understand that. I resonate with that. That will stay with you. Then that becomes your knowledge. You see? And we always say, like, you know, you can give somebody an apple, right? I give you an apple. I have one apple, I give you my apple. Then you're left with one apple, I'm left with no apple. Or I can cut my apple in half, and you have half apple, I have half apple. But if I share knowledge with you, now 2 people have knowledge. You see, not just one person. So knowledge, sharing of knowledge is very important. And they say in the Chinese philosophy that if you know something, it's your duty to share it with others. It's your duty to share it with others, not to just keep it to yourself. So if there's something that you like, whether Raj Yoga, Brahma Kumaris, something nice from somewhere else, share it with others. You might make a difference in their life, you know? But knowledge gives us self-awareness. That's the point. Yeah, apne ka gyan, self-identity. And then, as I said, once I know who I am, I can operate better in the world. Okay, I'll move on from this. Okay. So self-realization to self-empowerment, okay? So this is an iceberg, right? The wind is moving this way. The water is moving this way. In which direction is the iceberg moving? The wind or the water? Water. Why? Good. Do you all agree? Water? Yes? Hello? Sir, do you agree it's water? Do you agree it's water? Yes? Okay. Okay, it's water because the greater mass is underwater. So it's not the current. I was fooling you actually. It's not the direction of the wind current or the water current. If more mass was on the top, it would move by wind current. Okay, so what does this tell us? Right? This tells us that what we see on the surface is our physical self, physical world, the environment, and our words, actions, our relationships. This is all obvious and visible to these eyes, okay? But there's many things that are not visible, which are part of the spiritual, the emotional, the mental. Our perceptions, our ideas, our beliefs, our desires, okay? All this is not visible, our thoughts. But it's that, everything that's under that surface that is moving us, that is driving us. Yeah? This is very important for you to understand. It's not the things happening around you that is driving you or pushing you. It's what's inside. Right? So even at work, maybe you have a very strong, ambition to become successful or to have a certain position or to achieve a vision. Even something nice, positive, powerful, to serve the community or to serve humanity, whatever. Or to make a product that makes everyone's life easy, whatever the vision, it's coming from inside of you. Eventually, then you express it and it appears on the surface. So just be aware that the way I am, the way I live, the way I see things, it's governed from inside out, not outside in. When I get to see my inner world, then I realize that, there's a lot happening that is not obvious to these eyes, because there's a lot going on inside. So this, again, you see in meditation. When you sit in meditation, you see your inner world and what's going inside in your inner world. Many times we don't stop to see. And we're just concerned about everything, fixing everything here on the surface, when we actually need to fix things inside. So this is what we're meaning here: self-awareness, self-mastery, and inner power. Yes, so we need to break free from our comfort zone. Okay? So you see where the Q is? So this says unpleasant truths, right? There's no Q there. And comforting lies. You understand? So we love to hear the lies that people tell us because that comforts us, right? But we don't like to hear the truth. Another way of seeing that is it's time to awaken your inner potential. So actually there is a lot of good inside. In fact, they say that there's a lot of potential that we don't use by the time we die. Even our mind, even our brain, we only use like 10-20% of our brain. Think about it. So imagine all that's gone to waste, when we could have done so much more, with our life. So anyway, comfort zone. Yeah, many of us are stuck in our comfort zone. We think everything's okay. We're happy the way things are. But what if things were different? What if I did, try going home a different route. Try to write with your left hand. Try to challenge yourself in different ways. And then you see different things. You're not stuck in a routine. You're not robotic. And really, then lots of things open up to you. You start to see life in a different way. So break out from your comfort zone. Yeah, the mic. Aap nazdeek baitho ne.
I'll take this, thanks. Okay, just wanted to connect the previous slide with the question that she was asking. And with all, humbleness, I personally appreciate the fact that you took that topic up and said, many a times in our lives, we come across situations which are, not seen by us, which are unexpected events. And these are moments of stress in the daily life. And it will always, and you rightly said, it will always be there. But if you look at it, the way we, grow up from childhood, we have been groomed, the body has developed, all the muscles have developed out of stress. You go to a gym, you put yourself under stress, and that's how you develop your, strength. So if you face these unforeseen events and you tell yourself, okay, this is an uncomfortable zone for me, but I'm developing my mind and I'm developing myself to, to achieve those potentials that I have. And then you say, okay, even if I'm not able to do right now, so when you go to a gym, you go to a level of stretch, and then you fail. Every time you do that, you go to a level of stretch, you move a bit further, and then you fail. You say yourself, I mean, this is a progress that I'm doing at the end of the day. Every time I face this unforeseen event, which is causing a stress in my mind, is actually developing my mind. The more I have these stress, the more I am developing. So, no, it's, so when you, yeah. It will not be there. I'll tell you how. Let me. See. Yeah. No, so we all are on the same, I mean, all of us are saying the same thing. What she said also was, look at it from a different mindset. Don't look at, and you say stress is going to be there. She's saying stress is going to be there. Look at it from a different mindset. I am saying stress is good. So all of us are saying the same thing.
Yeah, I think what I'm hearing the brother say is just see it as a stepping stone. The stress is there, but it's just going to take you higher. Right? Yeah. Good. Thank you. Okay, let's look at this. This is very nice diagram extracted from a book, Living in Balance. Joel and Michelle live in the west coast of America. Okay, so imagine, okay, that this is the level of skill set of your employees, your staff. This is the level of demands or challenges that they get, okay? Now, if their skill set is low, but they have a lot of demand, right, then there's going to be burnout. Right? So in other words, there's a lot to do, but they're not equipped to do it. And here, if they're too talented, but not enough challenge, then there is rust out. Right? They become rusty. And here is actually the comfort zone, the happy zone, where we are learning new skills and they're being challenged at the same time. Okay? So every time we learn something, it's being challenged. Learn something, it's being challenged. And this in between is the learning zone, where we constantly have to be in a state of where we are learning something. And again, that's what I love about this path. Every single day, I still feel that I'm learning something new. I don't feel that I've learned everything. Every day there's a new discovery. And that's what keeps the newness there, So this is what I'm saying. Encourage you to look at your comfort zone as the zone of always moving forward. So it's a zone, but it's not a fixed zone, you see? Normally we think comfort zone is that's it, in my little circle, in my little box. But the comfort zone, I'm asking you to change the terms of the comfort zone, and that is to make it a mobile comfort zone, so that you move with your learning. You see, you move forward. Okay, I think most of you know this, right? Because my time is running out, so I want to cover one or two things. But I think most of you know this, that you need to identify, in terms of time management, you need to identify what are your big rocks in your life, right? So an experiment was done where somebody took a big bottle and he had lots of stones and pebbles and sand and water, and he said, what should I put first in the bottle? So some students said sand and pebbles, and he said no. He said, first of all, put your big stones, right? When you put your big rocks, so what are the main things that are important to you? Family, work, self, my spiritual life, you know, my spiritual discipline. So these are your big rocks, okay? You put them into the bottle first. Then you start adding all the other things, like your hobbies, like your interests, like your social work, volunteer work. Then maybe, you know, meeting friends or arranging parties or vacations or whatever. That come once in a while, but it's important, but it's not urgent. Okay, and then lastly, you can always still add some water. So there'll always still be time to do the things that you want to do. But first of all, prioritize and fit in your big block. So make time for the most important things in your life, and you'll always find time to do the small things. Okay, that's time management, to keep balance. Yes, so here, right, happy people, happy employees, right? So basically, the core values at work that keep employees happy, compassion, kind. This is actually, this is in management books now, actually. It's not just something Brahma Kumaris is saying. Compassion, kindness, love, wisdom, faith. These are qualities that make the environment a happy working environment, where people want to stay and be part of the team, actually. And even in terms of leadership, when they were asked, what's the main quality you want in your leader? And the majority said honesty and transparency. You see? So it's not even that they have to lead you well, or it's not again a technical skill. We say it's a spiritual skill, right? It's a spiritual value, honesty and transparency. And so are these. These are all spiritual virtues that people are looking for in the workplace. Okay, let's move here. So, you know, another thing that we learn here is about the Trimurti, right? You know the Trimurti. The Trimurti is the Brahma, Vishnu, Shankar, right? So these are the three acts of God: generation, operation, and destruction, right? G-O-D. So, sorry. Yeah, so Brahma, let's move to Brahma. Brahma, the creator. So in the Brahma state, where I'm the creator, right, in the company, it requires a change in the mindset. In other words, I have to learn to create a new mindset, be innovative, right? And all these the big race, which is, say, you know, my goal or the aim, the destination, that has to be broken up into mini races. So I have to be creative and inventive about breaking that big goal into smaller goals, okay? So this is the Brahma. Vishnu, right, is one that preserves the core, right? So in other words, you have to learn to sustain what you've created. You have to learn to manage what you've created. And then, oh yeah, this is important, right? 80-20 rule. So learn to manage. 80-20 rule is the Pareto principle. Pareto principle says that, you know, 80% of your income is earned from 20% of your customers. So learn to manage those 20%, right? Or maybe 80% of your work is done in 20% of the time. Okay? So again, learn to manage that. Okay, and then Shiva is the Shankar or Shiva, we say, is the destroyer or the transformer. So here you need a lot of courage, right? You need to be able to abandon the past. You need to be able to change, right? You have to move with the times. And this is the most difficult part, because it's hard to throw out expired things, right? Maybe expired employees or expired principles or expired systems. So this takes a lot of courage to say, you know what, this isn't working, we need to throw it out. So sorry it's a bit like this, but basically Brahma, Vishnu, Shankar, and try to apply this theory also. And this is something we learn here also. It's part of the meditation course. What is the Trimurti and how we can apply it in our life. Okay, we'll move on from that. Success is a state of mind. So basically, you know, again, like if you think you can, so here if you think you can, you're right. If you think you can't, you're also right. And this was a quote from Henry Ford. But I'd like to take you back to here. So basically, I think this is something that you might like to take up at your companies. So basically, throughout the day, we have a system here that we call traffic control. So throughout the day, the music plays. And when the music plays, we just pause. We just stop what we're doing, and we check the traffic of our thoughts. Am I thinking right thoughts? Am I thinking positive thoughts? Or have I gone off track, thinking negative or waste? And it just helps us to keep us on track. So maybe this is something you might like to do at work. Play the music, maybe not every hour, maybe every 2 hours, 3 hours, where employees can take a pause, okay? And then also daily, you can have like lunchtime meditation. In quite a few companies, I know in Infosys, in Hyderabad, they have lunchtime meditation, which means they come together, they bring their lunch, and they talk, they discuss about something, and then they have 10, 15 minutes meditation at the end. Whoever wants to, okay? So this is a good activity. Once a week, again, you can have one of our teachers come and do meditation. Monthly workshops, retreats, you know, that's something we can do. Bharti Bhai will speak to you about this afterwards. And then this is something nice as well, promoting values at work. So what you can do is every week you choose a new value. So you say, okay, this week we will focus on respect. This week we will focus on cooperation. So everybody has to focus more on that value. So everybody has to be more cooperative, or everybody has to give more respect, you know, to the other person. So really this also helps to generate good vibes, you know, in the company, and encourages working together and working on the same thing. Anyway, there's a lot that, you know, Brahma Kumaris can offer to companies. As I said, you know, if you take the example of Brahma Kumaris as a big company, and look at the leader, right? Dadi Janki, she is amazing. She's 102 years old, and she's still the leader. I mean, yes, there is a group that, you know, works together, a committee, but she's still there. And I personally go to her for advice. And she still gives very good classes, very intelligent classes, very sound advice. So imagine at 102. And she is a sign of somebody that if you've always used your intellect, you know, mind and intellect for something positive and powerful and only spoken, you know, good words, then your mind and intellect will also serve you. In other words, it'll work for you, not against you. So you won't become senile, you won't lose your memory, you know. You'll be sane, you'll be mindful, you'll be sane. So yes, thank you for coming. It's been a pleasure to be here with all of you. I think my time is up. And if you had any questions, I don't know if is there time for questions? Okay, if there's any questions, I'm happy to take them. Or if you want to comment, happy to hear your comments. So I've silenced you all. Would you like to speak in the mic? Yeah.
How many people use left brain? How many people use right brain after attending the summit?
You mean after attending meditation?
Meditation, summits and seminars.
I think the idea is to balance. It's not about using one or the other, but one is to be able to balance. So you're not extreme in one end, okay? It's not like you're in La La Land or you're too much fanatic, okay? So it's to firstly balance, and then secondly, to be able to access any side that you want at any given time. So you feel confident to be creative, or you feel confident to handle this situation, like make a good decision. That's the idea. That's what we're striving for, is the balance.
That comes from the birth.
Not always. Not always.
Then situation, environment.
No, I think that comes through meditation and self-awareness. I mean, if you're asking me, if you're telling me, that's something else. But if you're asking me, I think that comes through meditation and becoming more aware of myself. Knowing my strengths, knowing my weaknesses. Try it. I challenge you to try it. Okay?
Raja Yoga meditation, if you do the course, the answer will come.
No, what is your point? What do you mean? What are you trying to say?
You gave an example, but when we go on a path on the road, the difference between the path when we travel on the glass path. Can you change that path from from regular left brain to right brain?
Yeah, but you have to talk to yourself a lot. You see, if I don't do meditation and I've been given this exercise, I have to talk to myself a lot and convince myself that everything's going to be okay. Okay? But now that I've done Raj Yoga meditation and I realize that I'm a soul and nothing can happen to the soul, I'm not so afraid. You see? And then my view and most of the fear dissipates. So yes, I think after Raj Yoga meditation and understanding the self, I can walk on that bridge quite freely without that being the fear that I will fall or even negative, right? I don't fall into negative thinking that, oh, it's when I walk on it that it will break. You know, if I don't have meditation, right, most of the time we can think that. Yeah, it won't come with one meditation. Like, it has to become your way of life, the way you think.
It has to come from the self.
Yeah. Yeah. It will come with time, but that's why, like I'm saying, it's like you have to flex the muscles. You see? Just as when you exercise, the muscle gets stronger. In the same way, when you do more meditation, you get stronger, the soul gets stronger. You know, you get stronger in your decision making. And then you can live more confidently.
But generally, when we live in the society, many people always use the plant, negative brains.
Yeah.
Can we change them?
No, we're not here to change anybody. We are here to change ourselves. We can't change anybody. Let's learn that now, really. Let's learn this lesson before it's too late. We cannot change anybody ourselves. We can only okay? So how I can change that person is by me changing. Right? How I can change you is by me becoming sweeter and kinder and humbler. Then you will change. Because you will now respond differently to me. There won't be the two egos, you know, head to head. That's the only way you can change someone, is change yourself.
When there is a good teacher, can we change? When there is a good teacher.
Yeah, so he is, no? He's a good teacher. God is a good guide. He can guide us. Okay, anybody else? Any other question? Yeah, Mike, don't.
Okay, in this, yeah, excuse me, if you can look at me. Yeah, so you were saying that here we have a teacher who's teaching us, and if out of 50, 40 are not ready to learn, only 10 are ready to learn. So he's not forcing anybody to learn. It's a self-transformation journey. So if you want to pick it up, you will have to work on yourself. So even if you look at sisters, or if you look at these organizations, every sister has his or her own level, which is not known to anybody. It's like a relationship with the God. So when you think, like, as you said, you know, if someone is very negative, it's her or his perspective. You will only have to accept it. You can't change people, neither the situations.
But we all the 50 people will be in one single class from class 1 to 10.
Yeah. So you are seeing them in this birth, right? As she's told, you are a soul. And soul takes rebirth, right? See, in your own house, you might have been 2 brothers or 1 sister, 1 brother. Both are not the same. Say, they had same parents, same house, same family members, but your choices also differs.
No, but brother, 1 minute. But 1 minute. Why are we so concerned about changing others? You see, I don't think we should go there. Really, in Raj Yoga, really we learn to manage ourselves. I cannot control others. I cannot change others. And once I start turning the mirror onto me, instead of showing the mirror to others, you know, stop saying, look at you, look at yourself. No, let's turn the mirror onto me and I look at myself. This is already a big job. So let me get on and do this job of changing myself. You see? And as I change, then really people around me will change. See, people respond to you also the way you project yourself. Okay? If you are a very domineering, bossy boss, controlling boss, of course people will be afraid of you, you know? They'll keep away, they don't want to talk to you, they'll hide things from you. Okay? On the other side, if you are a more humbler boss, you're amiable, likable, approachable, yeah, they'll come and tell you everything. They'll work with you like a friend, as a team. So really, that's another thing we have to bear in mind, that it's, you know, people behave towards me the way I am also. So let me take that responsibility. Let me take my 50% of responsibility. So just keep changing yourself, and really, people around you will change as well. Tika? We can carry on this discussion over dinner. Anybody else? Any other subject? No? Good? Content? Again? Yeah, but that's why we do it on a daily basis. We have to do it on a daily basis. You know, for example, did everybody eat today? Did you all have breakfast and lunch? Yes? Why? Why did you have breakfast and lunch? Energy for the body. Did you feed the soul twice today? Why do we neglect the soul? What did we feed the soul? You know? Did we give it a break? Did we give the mind a break and say, okay, mind, I love you, let's stop for a few moments? No. So why we give so much emphasis to the body and so little to the soul? So that's why every day we have to feed the soul good things every day. And then the soul works for us, you know? It works in our favor. Okay, let me leave you with a story then, maybe. Let's have a little story. So there was a person who came to this holy man, and he said to the holy man, you know what? I want you to give me something that will make me happy. So this holy man said, I don't think I have anything. And he said, what do you mean you don't have anything? You know, you're supposed to make us happy. So he was getting annoyed a bit. So this holy man said, okay, go over there. There's a tree, and under the tree there is a stone. Maybe that will make you happy. Okay? So he went to the tree and he found a stone. But what was the stone? The stone was a diamond. A big diamond, right? This big. He said, this stone? And the holy man said, yes. And he said, if you want it, take it. He said, are you sure? He wasn't sure, right? He thought he's fooling him. He said, yes, take it. If it will make you happy, take it. So he took the diamond, but as he went, he put it under his, you know, coat in case somebody saw him, right? Because they might steal it. So he took the diamond and he walked off. Before he got home, he thought, I better not show my wife, because she, you know, the women like to talk, right? So she might go tell the neighbors. So he didn't want to tell his wife. Okay, he took it inside and then he hid it, right? He hid it somewhere under some books and things. But then when he went to work the next day, he kept thinking, oh, I hope my wife doesn't find it. I hope somebody doesn't, you know, steal it. So he's at work, but his mind keeps going back to this stone. You know, it's so precious, it's so nice, but what to do? Every day he'd come and he'd look there and the stone is there. Goes back to work the next day. Same thing happens. After a week, you know, he's so distressed. He's so tired because now he can't use the stone, he can't sell the stone, he can't take pleasure from the stone. So he goes back to the sage and he says, you know what? Please, take it back. Because I lost my peace of mind trying to look after this stone. So it's better you keep that and I keep my peace of mind. So really, how much do we run after things thinking that's what will make me happy, that's what will make me happy, when happiness is an inside job? You see? If I say I'm happy because, I'm happy because I got the diamond, I'm happy because I got the promotion, I'm happy because I got a nice new sari. If I say because, you're finished. There's no because. If you say because, it means if that thing goes, your happiness will go with it. So there shouldn't be a because. I'm just happy, that's it. Bas, khalas, I'm happy. Not because of any reason. I'm happy because I'm a happy soul. I'm full of happiness. And think about it, when you have so much inside of you, right, you're already overflowing. There's a nice expression, you know, that especially in India, you know, you have the cup and the plate, you know, or a little drinking thing and a plate. So there's a nice expression that my teacup is so full, I'm drinking from the saucer. In other words, my life is so full that I can't add any more to it. And this is really how we feel here. I feel like this. I feel I have so much in my life that nobody can give me anything to add to it. And I'm so happy just because of what's inside, not what's outside. You see? So really be mindful of this. In fact, there's another story. Do I have time for another story? Okay, last story, okay? So there's another story where this man, right, he's a wealthy man and he decides, okay, I want to become a hermit. You know, I want to, not so much a hermit, but I want to simplify my life. I want to give away my wealth and have less and make other people happy. So what he does is he packs some coins, right, his wealth, some of his wealth, and he decides to give it to this, let's say another holy man. And as soon as he came with his bundle, okay, this holy man, he took it. He said to him, here, I want to give this up. I give it to you. So then this holy man, he took the bundle and he ran with it. Okay? He ran with it and this man is following him. He's saying, hey, where are you taking this bundle? So this holy man, right, wise, intelligent man, he's running through the streets and the parks and everything until he loses this wealthy man. So this wealthy man is really upset. He said, I shouldn't have given it to him. Why did I give it to him? He comes back to the same spot where he, you know, he's waiting for this man to come. He thinks maybe this man will come back. And sitting there in front of him is the bundle where he had left it in the first place. So he said, there it is. And he picks it up again. And the wise man is behind the trees and he said, did you really give it up? Do you get it? Did you really give up that money? So he was testing him, you see. Sometimes we say we want to give it up, but if you give it up, then it's not yours anymore. It's not for you to decide what that person does with it. So sometimes really when we give up things, really let go and don't hold on to them. Otherwise they will still have a control over you. You see? So when I let go, just let go. Om Shanti. So thank you. Thank you for coming, and it's been a pleasure being here. And I'm inviting you, right? Or Okay. I'd like to invite Didi Ambika, who will come and give us some words of wisdom. She is the director of this center. In fact, whole of Karnataka, right? Sorry, Bangalore. She's our senior Didi here. Yeah, so she's going to say a few spiritual words of wisdom. She's very sweet and very lovely and very loving.
Om Shanti. Good evening, namaste to everyone. आप सब ने बहुत कुछ सुन लिया, भर गए. Are you full? You heard a lot. And you are all valuable jewels of God. And your role in the company is the important role, and you are a bridge towards to your head and the employees. Whole day managing the mind, the men and the money. Are you tired with the management? Or stressed too much? How you feel? So there is one thing what our Supreme Father, the most beloved Father, who cares us, who shares with us, and he says, children, if you want to be hero in all your management work, you become zero. Becoming zero means withdrawing and focusing on the point within, the light within. I am the soul, a shining star, a point of light, the full of energy. Again and again when you withdraw, when you are to the point, when you put a full stop to all the waste, negative and unwanted thoughts and the emotions, whatever is unwanted to that time, if you put a full stop, then as our beloved sister was telling that give a fast, the traffic control, all that. So that is the way in meditation we practice that withdrawing and becoming a point means one thing to put a full stop. What is the benefit of putting full stop to thoughts and to the emotion is, it is a multiplication of the energy. God says, जब भी आप zero बनते हो, hero तो ज़रूर बनेंगे. Zero बनना मना. जितना जितना एक के बाद zero लगाएंगे 10, फिर करेंगे तो 100, फिर 1000. ये multiplication है. Multiplication of energy, the values. And physically also, as you become very powerful, eminent, and there in all the way the multiplication comes. तो ये एक कला अगर आप सीख जाएंगे जीवन में, इससे जो क्लैरिटी आती है वो ट्रेमेंडस है. जो भी आपके कार्य क्षेत्र में हर एक को समझना है, जानना है, उनकी भावनाओं को, उनकी कैपेसिटी, उनकी जो भी एबिलिटी है, प्लस और माइनस, हर एक को समझते हुए उनको चलाना, उनको चलाते हुए खुद निर्विघ्न बनना, विदाउट इन्वॉल्व, विदाउट गेटिंग डिस्टर्ब्ड. ये सारी जो भी कलाएं आना है वो पॉइंट लगाने से, फुल स्टॉप लगाने से ऑटोमेटिकली आता जाएगा. और इतना आपके अंदर power to discern, power to judge and power to face, whatever the 8 powers sister was telling, that you can see that so quickly these powers will be working within you, which leads towards the success in managing these 3 things, that is the mind, the men and the money. That is the biggest and difficult task in the world, I can say. And हर एक इंसान को मैनेज करना आप सब जानते हैं मेरे से ज़्यादा क्या होता है, कैसे होता है. तो लेकिन ये सारी बातें सहज रूप में हो जाता है और you will be the hero once more. वाह वाह. The head and the employees, you have to rule in their hearts. This is only the technique to become zero, to be hero. Thank you so much. Om Shanti.
Thank you, sister. So we are almost coming to the final part of the thing. So far we could get very deep understanding about how do you get into promoting these things. And one of the thing is the meditation is the key, where you can inculcate values and try to implement it. While we go into the last item, I would like to request our volunteers to give the feedback forms to all. Yeah, so the final thing is, what we want to know is about the follow-up plans. So I just want to highlight some of the things what we have done, because this summit, what we are conducting, this is started in Hyderabad and moved from Hyderabad. Again, we did in Pune and Chennai, and in October in Bangalore, and recently in the last of February we did in Delhi. So it is keep on, we are moving into many places, and some of the places the results also are very good. In fact, what we are talking here about all these reflections or self-talk, one company in Pune took an initiative of putting a self-reflection room in their office, and their employees were made to come and sit and reflect against the truth. Whatever they think, what is truth versus how they are. And they try to compare and come towards the truth as much as possible. They found very good results over a time when they start doing these exercises actually. So this is one of the biggest thing. The company immediately taken this initiative and started that actually. Like what sister was telling, that you have to put a break, right? Whatever thoughts you are having it, you have to put a break sometime. What we do like a traffic control here, you think about what the thoughts are going on. Is it with respect to my true value or it is against my value actually? So that it makes them to correct themselves. And this is a part of meditation actually, basically. So over a time, you mature in doing this process and you become automatically transformed actually, right? So going to the plans with respect to that, what we are coming out is, one is basically we want to initiate some kind of retreat, which we called as a silence retreat, where we want people to sign up in once in a month or once in a quarter, whatever you feel it convenient for you. And it can be done in an ambience atmosphere like here, wherever centers. We will try to take small numbers, maybe 20 to 25 numbers, and sign it for a silent retreat, where you come here, experience that, considering one of the values, and then reflect yourself and experience the power of it. Maybe it can be a residential thing. We can make you to stay here for a day or 1.5 day and experience it and go actually. And you can, once you experience it and understand it, you feel that some more into your employees has to take it up, you can always take it further also on that. So that is one option we are thinking of. The other thing is, recently we have come up with a program called Leading the Self, where we try to see that if a leader, if he cannot lead himself, then he cannot lead others actually, right? So how to bring this power of leading the self, we nicely divided into a 10 modules package, which can be given to the companies, or we can also invite you here and train you for that actually. So that will also help you to make it forward actually. So apart from that, we are also conducting frequent retreats, monthly or quarterly or half-yearly like that, in Bangalore as well as in our headquarters. It's also there actually. So you can come and participate in that. We can time to time we can intimate you, as long as you are, as you have your information there with us, we can give it. And the fourth option is, if you suggest that, okay, we have to do something rocket for our organization. This is a specific thing what we wanted. We want to focus on it actually. Like sister was suggesting about creating reality, or harmony among the people, how to put all these things practically into the systems actually, right? So we can discuss and work out a workshop type of thing, and we can conduct it, and then we can take it forward actually. So apart from that, if you have some suggestions, please reflect actually. Anyone? Which you feel that we can take it forward, or which you want to feel that we want to consider that actually.
Maybe, you know, a retreat is a good idea. Okay. And I feel a more diverse forum, more people and more time to it would give us, give you justice to, you know, connect as well, right? So I think, but this has been really good. I really like the place, and just a bit too far away from my place, however, and well, it's been a good experience. Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks, ma'am. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other things? Yeah.
This is really good, whatever we have spoke as of now. But what I feel is now, if you want to really see the transformation happening, and it's basically managing the stress in the organization and creating a productive environment as well as a happy employee. What happens is, in this kind of situation, people may not be able to relate exactly. When you talk about the spirituality, adding spirituality to the workspace, they were not able to relate properly. So maybe I feel that we need to take more examples, work-like examples, and how it creates so much of tension and stress, pressure. So the moment we talk about stress, we start looking inside. We thought stress is inside, but it is created from the outside. So inside there is no stress at all. We are trying to pull all the stress inside, and we think that there is a stress. So when you start pinpointing those instances where the stress creating environment is created by your own thought process, or probably mismanaging those things, then the transformation can happen. This is what I feel.
No, probably, yes, even yesterday some suggestions came to consider some case studies actually, practically what happens, and how these kind of embedding values into the system can help to resolve it actually, right? In a team environment, or in a real case environment, or in a business environment. We saw some feedbacks, what has come. I was going through the feedbacks yesterday. Some people asked, even the business environment, when such situations are happening, how it is really going to work for us actually, right? So it is possible, and we have to work on that, and then we can do more on that actually. Good suggestion actually. Anybody else?
Okay, this has been a very enlightening day for me. I would like to thank the sister for this very nice session. Very nice takeaways for me. Like we feed our body, we need energy. We need to feed our soul also. That has been the greatest message of the day for me. And some of the, in the last slide, you showed a couple of things that we could do and what is being done in BKs, like the check traffic. That's a very great idea, and if we are able to do that every day, I think that will take us in the right path. I would definitely love my organization to implement that. And the other thing that was very interesting is the group meditation, and after lunch spend time. I mean, it's all voluntary, but at least the organization, if it realizes the power it has, I think that will be a great benefit to all of us. Yeah, thanks.
Just I attended yesterday and today also, and last 6 months. But feedback from all the people had come very clearly that they were happy to conduct here rather than hotel. This is a very strong feedback from all the top people. I got it yesterday. I thought I'll just share with you.
stress is only a part, if we think stress is only a part of the body, nothing happens.
Yeah, but the origin is from our thought, right? So the control has to be there from the thought. So once, sorry? Means you want to live with the stress actually. Okay. Means you want to habitate with the stress itself actually. Yeah, see, once you understand the values of what we have it inside, then you know that how to, not to manage the stress, but to become stress-free actually, right? So what we want to practice here is a stress-free living, not even to manage the stress actually. Means taking stress as a part of my life and go at no, right? So what sister said, that meditation, it makes you even to become free from that actually. Right. Yeah. Okay. Right. So I like the idea what sister was telling, that I should want to take it to the company and promote this kind of things. So sister let us know that what support required from our side to do that one. In fact, we are looking for this kind of things where some of you who are in the organization can take these initiatives and makes little, see, starting it will not go to everybody's things, right? Some people, small group is sufficient to start with, and that vibration will help to more people to come automatically. Infosys, basically what sister was telling, it started with very few people actually. And today, considerable number of people are taking it, and their HR has come and said that we give a room to you to start the things now. So they are doing regularly now actually. In fact, they are reading even some of the things here, like what sister was telling, that morning, first what you take it out, the good nectar actually, the knowledge, even they are reading the knowledge there itself actually, properly actually. So a lot of developments happens once you start putting these kind of good things into your system. Automatically, the values implementation and values inculcation goes more natural actually. Anyone else? Before we conclude, the last 2 minutes. So, coming to the conclusion, I would like our sister Aruna to do a sample closing meditation to feel us how this will be effective actually. So let us take through the meditation.
And take a deep breath and try not to hold anything in your hand. And just try and rest your eyes on something in front of you, because we practice open eye meditation. So it's good that I made this time for myself. It's an act of self-love and self-respect. Right now, I'm going to spend a few moments with myself, looking at my inner world. I'm very conscious of my outer world, my work life, my family, my children, my finances. But what's going on in my inner world? So right now I observe the flow of thoughts in my mind. And I try to bring those thoughts to one point. And that point is the point of peace. So right now I zoom in on inner peace. I want to experience my inner peace, my inner calm, my inner stillness. So as I just think about peace, I automatically move away from all other thoughts. So in a gentle way, I focus on different types of peace. There is the peace of nature, the gardens, the animals, the flowers, the birds. There is the peace that is absence of war, when the war has ended. There is peace and harmony in relationships, when you feel safe and comfortable. But still there is a much more deeper peace inside, where I'm absolutely happy and content. This is the peace that I seek. Each one of us has a deep well of peace inside. And in meditation, I go and dive into that well of peace. As I slow down my thoughts, I feel much more in control of myself. I feel a clarity. I can discriminate clearly. I can manage my emotions. I become strong. So right now I would like all of you to plant a seed with your thoughts. Plant a seed of how you would like to see yourself in 1 year's time. What you would like to spiritually accomplish. How you would like to see yourself as a being and not just as a doing. So maybe you want to be more calm and peaceful, more humble, more quiet. Less complicated. Just create that vision in your mind's eye. And every day, water that vision with attention. And remember that here, right now, in this beautiful atmosphere, you planted this seed. And so this is the perfect environment for the seed to flourish, to grow. And as you change, the world will change. As you change, you will instigate others to change around you. That's how powerful you are. So once again, come back to the awareness that I am a peaceful soul. Everything that I need is right here inside of me. Everything that I, the soul, needs is right here inside of me. I just have to look. Om Shanti.
Thank you, sister. So we are coming to the last thing now. I request Sister Ambika Ben to come to the front. The last thing is, all our programs will conclude with giving you some blessings and a sweet, which we call Todi. And while coming here, I request, if you filled your feedback forms and you have put all your suggestions, I request one volunteer to come here, stand here and collect those feedback forms from them, and kindly come and collect your blessings also. After that, please don't move away. We need to take one group photo with all of you. Sorry, sir, I think I taken late now, so. Yeah. So after that, we all move to 5th floor to have a dinner, actually.